Listen up.
Hi, Lucy. Hi, Kel.
The Lucy and Kel podcast.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to a Thursday podcast with a very Thursday Lucy.
Whoa.
Wow, it's like she's here in the podcast. And a very Casey.
Hi, it's me, Casey. Yeah.
Casey has done a masterful job today of filling in for Lucy, who's been away sick. She's not well, if you're keeping up. I think she came in once this week, and then we were like, that's enough.
She needs to stay and rest at
she
home.
has a viral infection of the esophagus. I think that's a throat infection, but the way the doctor talked about it was very, very detailed.
Yeah.
So she's under doctor's orders, maybe tomorrow, but it doesn't matter because Casey is here.
Yay.
And you provided a wealth of entertainment on the show today and also in this podcast. We're quicks sticksing it actually, which is not a real thing to say, but we are under the pump because we have how many meetings?
5 billion.
5 billion meetings coming up and in less than like 8 minutes time.
I know.
So
Crazy.
Casey and I can't be around for very much longer,
No.
but we wanted to be a part of the podcast for you today because you did some great work. We've got some great conversations coming your way in this podcast later on, including that of volunteering and also of jobs that don't exist anymore.
So many people messaged in.
So Casey wanted to get through a
Wow.
few of your responses because so many people were talking about the fact that there are jobs in the olden days that don't exist anymore. And Casey, you've been on a bit of an educational tour of jobs that we had to have back in the olden times because we didn't have the
Crazy.
internet.
It's crazy. Did you, just quick side note, did you ever think when you were delivering newspaper physically to someone's door that you thought in your head as a young boy, one day this won't exist anymore?
Here's what we used to think back in the 80s and 90s because we had, and I know you're a lover of this movie, we had Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And Back to the Future was this huge movie milestone in a lot of people's lives, like myself at that time, where we thought, oh, that's clearly the future.
Yeah.
Flying cars, time travel, skateboards that float.
And we have none of them now.
Those shoes, you know those shoes? They had the Nikes that would do themselves up.
Self-tying,
Yeah, self-drying clothes. We thought this is clearly all what's happening in the future.
Yeah.
And this is probably about 2 weeks away. So for the longest time in the 80s and the 90s, we thought, like, even thinking about the year 2000, I don't think you'll ever understand because you weren't born until 2003.
Yeah.
The year 2000 was so the future, and especially in the 90s, waiting for the year 2000 and thinking that everything was going to change.
Yeah.
We also thought the world was going to end.
In 2012?
In the year 2000, though.
Oh, right.
Because of the Y2K bug. Have you ever heard about the Y2K bug?
No. Oh
Let me tell you a story.
What's going on?
So before 2000, back in the olden times before you were born, the Y2K bug was the greatest threat to humanity. Essentially what people had worked out was, in a computer, you've got ones and zeros, right?
Yeah.
And computers work on dates as well. So computers track what the day is, what the date is, what the year is. But when computers were built and all technology, when all technology was built before the 2000, it was simply in day, month, and year.
Okay.
So I'm trying to explain this in a way that doesn't sound confusing.
Yeah.
So all the dates and clocks inside computers could only go up to the year 2000. They couldn't go past the year 2000.
Of course you're thinking the world's going to end.
Because it's ticking over 01 for a day, 08 for a month, and then the year, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But because there's only 4 little cogs in that machine that can register a date, you can't go past the year 2000.
That's so scary.
So we thought all computers were going to switch off at midnight. At the end of 1999, it would strike midnight. We'd say, Happy New Year, and the entire world would switch off.
Wow.
That's what we thought.
That's so scary.
People were buying food. People were building bunkers. People were living underground. I'm serious. I'm so serious.
That happened. Oh my gosh. So these kind of things then happen every 10 or 15 years. Oh, it's so scary.
It's the end of the world. But that was the biggest end of the world moment, the Y2K bug, where all computers were going to switch off and we would live in the Stone Age again. And then 3 years later, you were born.
And I'm like, proof of life. That's crazy. Well, I remember the movie 2012 came out because everyone thought I was scared. I remember being in primary school. I was scared. I thought the world was going to end in 2012.
Because of all the natural disasters.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the time. Happening. End of the world is happening all the time.
Wow.
But
Anyways,
also, it was the end of jobs. And
it was the end of
we've
jobs.
gone through a few on the show. You'll hear them in the podcast a little later on. But some people wanted to get in. We couldn't get them in the show. So people doing jobs that don't exist anymore, Casey.
Yeah. So Elizabeth, she just wanted to let us know that, because we questioned, do people still drop off the newspaper?
Yes, because I was a paper boy growing up, and I used to throw papers into people's backyards via my BMX bike. And I think people get their weekend papers delivered, but I'm not sure about actual paper anymore.
Well, she just wants to let us know that she gets a newspaper delivered at school every day.
Really?
So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Every day?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's clearly still a thing, but I don't think it's done by kids anymore.
Yeah, she didn't specify the age.
Yeah, I don't think there's any kids on BMX bikes delivering paper anymore.
No, it's unsafe. Sav says, my dad in the 1970s was Mr. Jolly going door to door selling Electrolux vacuum cleaners.
Yes, we touched on door-to-door salespeople. Door-to-door salespeople were a huge thing.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that these days, like somebody knocking on the door?
No one would open the door.
No one would open the door for
one
one.
would talk to them.
You'd be on CCTV and they'd be talking through their phone, please go away.
Yes, and then download and post it to TikTok.
But they would sell stuff. Like, would you buy a vacuum cleaner from somebody that you've never met before that just arrived on your doorstep? Because that's what we used to do. Crazy.
That's silly.
Back in those days.
This one was really cool because I love movies in the cinema. Matthew from Druin said, hi, Casey and Cal. I used to be a projectionist at the cinema. This is now all done digitally.
Indeed. My sister worked for Village back in the day.
Yeah.
And her whole job was sitting there watching the movie because they had to get a real life human being because the movie film was too big to be on one reel. So half the movie would be on one reel, and then her job was to time it out. So she'd press play on the second projector so that the movie would play seamlessly, but it's basically being played on two different machines.
That's so cool.
And now it all just comes out of the cloud.
But yeah.
I know. Times have changed. See, Casey? And one day...
I wish I was born back then.
One day you'll be telling your kids about the year 2026 and they'll be like,
disgusting.
How did you guys even survive without teleportation?
Oh, stop.
The Lucy and Kel podcast.
Time to head down to the news desk. It's animal news.
Yes.
It is an animal that we would like to talk about. It was in the news this morning. If you've been listening to the 6 o'clock and the 6:30 Fresh News Update here at The Light, there is an animal on the loose that I've just heard about. I don't know all the information, but there is a Tasmanian devil on the loose.
For its second day, there is a search underway on Queensland Gold Coast for a missing Tasmanian devil who escaped because her name is Mary, her enclosure in a daring early morning dash. Caught on camera. It's everywhere. It's viral.
So Mary, the Tasmanian devil, is on the loose somewhere in the Gold Coast hinterland.
Yeah.
And she's been caught on CCTV.
Yep. She was sneaking around the grounds at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Right.
Some experts think she's just hiding away in a dog kennel.
Just living her best life.
Yep.
All right.
But they can't find her and she's just scurried away.
Which is
everywhere.
It's interesting because when you think about animals in the wild, I don't think about the Tasmanian devil. Now, when we first heard mention of the Tasmanian devil, Casey, and rightly so, because you don't hear a lot of Tasmanian devil news.
Yeah, no.
You went straight to Tasmanian tiger because you said Tasmanian devils. I thought they were all extinct.
Yeah.
And then we had to show you a picture of the Tasmanian tiger that once existed. I'm going to say, I mean, we can Google it. We should really know when it became extinct. It's a sad moment in the Tasmanian tiger's tale.
I'm thoroughly trying to search
there
right now.
There have been. And this is no joke.
They went extinct in 1936.
1936, so not that long ago. In 1936, they became extinct. And this is not a joke, but Hollywood heartthrobs, the Hemsworths. You know Chris Hemsworth?
Oh, I know Chris Hemsworth.
Casey's aware of Chris Hemsworth's work.
Yeah.
I believe the Hemsworths were involved in some scientific research to try and bring the Tasmanian tiger back.
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know the ins and outs
I
of
like
it.
Thor. I'm not sure about bringing the tiger back.
Look, if anyone could, it would be Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
So the Tasmanian tiger, no more. But the Tasmanian devil, apparently there must be a lot of them. I've never seen one myself, not even in a zoo.
No.
Like, my question is, clearly there's Tasmanian devils in Australia, but are they all in captivity? Like,
where are they?
Are they all in Tasmania?
Maybe that's where Mary's running to right now. She's finding the tribe of other Tasmanian devils, and she's like, we must unite and make sure Australia knows that we're great.
She probably wants to hop on board the Spirit of Tasmania and get back home. But
Probably.
because I've never really thought about it. I know it's a silly thing to think out loud, like, are there only
really.
Tasmanian devils in Tasmania?
Well, what's that cartoon?
The Tasmanian devil?
Yes, that's where I've seen him.
That's your...
That's my reference.
All your information is based on the cartoon from the 19...
and they look completely different.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I don't think a normal Tasmanian devil spins around like a hurricane.
I wish.
But they're not... I do believe they don't have the greatest personalities. I think they're quite grumpy, Tasmanian devils. If I saw a Tasmanian devil in my backyard, I don't think I'd approach it.
I wouldn't even know. I'd be like, oh, what a cute guinea pig. Because I've seen photos and they look like...
I think it's a bit grumpier than a guinea pig.
But a hungry guinea pig.
Firstly, just a couple of questions about Tasmanian devils. If there's anyone that's, let's put air quotes out there, an expert on Tasmanian devils, my first question, is there any Tasmanian devils in Australia in the wild? That might be the silliest question I've ever asked.
We need to know.
I know it's got the word Tasmanian in the front of it, and it doesn't mean it has to live exclusively in Tasmania. I get that. But I'm wondering, have they ever made it across into the mainland other than in captivity? And secondly, have you ever seen a Tasmanian devil? Like just in the wild?
Generally.
Which would back up the idea that they have actually migrated into Australia. Because Mary's done it now. Like, Mary's gotten out of captivity.
Yeah, and it looks like she could survive because I just heard some fun facts about them, about Tasmanian devils.
Should we do some fun facts?
Let's do some fun facts.
I don't know what they do. I don't know how they eat. I don't know how they sleep.
Well, talking about eating, they can consume up to 40% of their body weight in a single day, devouring, I'm not going to go into detail, but absolutely...
It's meat, right?
Everything,
It's meat.
Yeah,
okay.
They eat meat and they eat all of it.
They got big teeth.
They got huge chompers.
So they go meat and bone, quite obviously.
Yeah.
And how much times their body weight?
40%.
40% of their body weight every day.
Every day. That's me. I do that too.
And again...
yeah, a bit hungry, a bit peckish.
So already I'm wondering... You don't want Tasmanian devils just out there.
No.
Because they're eating all the other animals.
Because there goes all your pets. Sorry.
How big are they? Does it say how big they are? I feel like it's got to be smaller than a wombat.
Well, they're small. I can see here another fun fact. They are rice-sized babies. A mother gives birth to 20 to 40 of them at once, each about the size of a single rice grain.
Okay, so now there's a bit more information about Tasmanian devils that I did not know.
Wow.
So they're tiny when they're born.
Yeah.
But if mum's able to give birth to about 20 of them at a time...
They're everywhere.
Well, this is probably why they're not everywhere. Maybe they are considered a bit of a pest and they don't want to be out roaming around.
Yeah.
Because one mum with 20 babies... becomes another 20 mums with another 20 babies, and very quickly
it's like ants.
We're up to our eyeballs in Tasmanian devils.
That's too many.
I do like that they've called it Mary, because Mary gives it the idea that maybe Mary is one of the good ones.
It's sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, Mary.
Very quickly. Very quickly, everybody. Let's throw together a Lucy list.
The Lucy List.
Lucy list this morning is, have you seen a Tasmanian devil out and about? I know that's a silly question, because I think most of us have seen them in captivity.
Yeah.
But is this a big deal? Because it's made the news.
Yeah.
Mary being out and about for the last 2 days, an escapee in the Gold Coast, that might be cause for quite some concern.
Maybe someone from the Light family has seen Mary.
Maybe somebody listening online from Queensland has Mary in their backyard right now. Because
Call
if
us.
Mary has 20 babies...
Oh, no.
That's 21 Tasmanian devils out in the wild. And again, I'm speaking from a point of ignorance. I don't know if they are out in normal areas of Australia. Doesn't sound like you'd want them to be.
No.
If you've never heard a Tasmanian devil and what they sound like, this is what they sound like, everybody. Now, as I look... Yeah, they're not pleasant. And as I look at the footage, it is just like a small, angry rodent with the biggest teeth you've ever seen.
I know.
So I don't think we want these things running around in the wild.
Absolutely. They sound like humans screaming. Yeah.
And Casey's already pointed out they can have 20 babies at a time. So I'm sure the authorities are asking the news outlets, please talk about this because we want to find Mary the Tasmanian devil because we don't want more of her.
Yep.
A lot of people texting through with their stories about Tasmanian devils.
Yes, Vanessa from Huonville says Tassie devils are the cutest. There are Tassie devils in the wild in Tasmania, but not many people see them because they are nocturnal and very shy. Where she lives, where Vanessa lives in Huonville, have retired ones that people can see being fed.
So they have old Tasmanian devils in where she lives and they are on display and people can come around and watch them being fed.
That's so beautiful.
That's what Tasmanian devils do when they retire.
Yeah, they're just,
And they're cute, she says.
They're cute.
I haven't seen any video evidence to sort of
typed in Tasmanian devil. Maybe I have to Google cute Tasmanian devils, and I might change my mind.
So far, I have not seen a cute one, but Vanessa will take your word for it.
Yeah, 315 says they've seen Tassie devils in cartoons, like myself.
Yes. The majority of us have seen a Tasmanian devil in the cartoons.
Yes, they don't look the same. Melissa from Boronia says devils have been extinct on the mainland for a few hundred years, I think, but they are still running well in Tasmania, though they're not doing well. So that must be towards the end.
So the Tasmanian tiger is flat out extinct.
Yep.
But in Australia, the Tasmanian devils went extinct, and now I guess the majority are just found in Tasmania. That is interesting.
But they're going, apparently.
Oh, look, they're unpleasant-looking animals,
so sad.
They're unpleasant-sounding animals, but I don't want them to all go extinct.
No, they're God's creatures. We've got to look after them.
I'm glad that, they are. I'm glad that people like Vanessa think that they're adorable, so maybe they've got a chance.
That's sweet. Percy from Ferntree Gully says, I haven't seen Mary.
Yes.
Me neither. But as a music teacher, they say, I keep thinking Mary had a little lamb.
Yes. Well, by the sounds
Probably
of
ate it.
Yes. Had a lamb or two or three.
The Lucy and Kel podcast. You're going to love this next bit. Oh, spoiler alert.
We were out and about in an area of the world that is a very important area of the world. It's a volunteering area of the world. Mm-hmm. It's an organisation known as Food Bank.
Yes.
Now, Food Bank has been associated with the light over the last year or two and will be associated in the future. So we spent some time down at Food Bank just to spend the day there and actually volunteer our time.
Yeah, and if you don't know exactly what Food Bank is, it's the largest food relief organisation in Australia.
Indeed.
And they currently feed 76,000 Victorians every single day.
Every day there are families going hungry. And Food Bank talk about this. Food Bank talk about the fact that often when we think about food insecurity or people needing food, we think about homeless people or we think about people that are obviously a lot less fortunate than ourselves. But what Food Bank are saying is because of the cost of living and because of what we are all enduring at the moment in the times that we are walking through, many families across Melbourne, not only the ones that are most vulnerable, many families, they could have mums and dads working full-time jobs, but they just simply do not have enough finance to feed their family.
Yeah.
So there are families out there, there are mums and dads out there going without food just to feed the kids.
Exactly.
In some more dire circumstances, there are families out there that can't afford to do either. They can't feed the parents and they can't feed the kids. So that's where Food Bank steps up. 76,000 a day are serviced through Food Bank. And they have different arms as well
they
of
do
the
so
organisation.
Many different things.
They're doing breakfasts in primary schools right across Melbourne and Victoria.
And my husband Riley works at a school and he says the program is amazing. The kids love it because, again, so many kids actually just don't eat breakfast.
Exactly.
They can't afford it.
So they take the whole day basically as a write-off because these kids don't have any food in their tummies.
No fuel.
So they've got the breakfast programs at the primary schools. They've also got the outreach work that they're doing with other organisations that require to feed people, like through the Salvos or Melbourne City Mission. Something else they were doing on the weekend was just out of the blue.
It was just an emergency relief. So in their major Altona warehouse, they just had 900 cars go through, pop open their boots, get a bootload of food, drive off. 900 cars. So imagine how many people that's feeding.
And the other part of what Food Bank do is they have these buses.
Yes.
And these buses are full of supermarket produce. So imagine just a supermarket aisle, but inside a bus.
It was quite luxurious.
You've got
nice.
rice and milk and you've got cereals, you've got all sorts
fresh
of...
fruits, fresh veggies.
All of that. All inside of this bus. They drive out to an area of the world and then people that need to be able to feed themselves for the day or feed their families for the next couple of days, they come to these buses and then they walk through and they actually do like a
grocery shop.
A bit of a shop inside the bus.
Yeah.
They've got their own shopping bags. They go through, they select what they want. They don't have to take everything. They might be really into the tuna that's on offer or the cereal, but they might not want to have the potatoes. I mean, it's up to them.
Free for all.
It's like a normal shop for these
100%.
people.
And they got great customer service because we volunteered.
Yes, and that's the thing. We get to volunteer yesterday for that specific thing, the bus tour that goes out and feeds people in need. So we went out to an area that they go to every fortnight, and we were able to actually, when we say volunteer, sometimes you hear, like Lucy and myself, go out to an organisation and we find out about it.
Yeah.
So they'll take us for a tour, or they'll say, this is how long we've been in operation for, here's some interesting statistics. But yesterday, you and I, we were the
front
real
line.
deal. We were volunteering our time. So we're stacking the bus.
Yep. all the
full of food, moving all these boxes around. Now,
serving others, helping people put food in their basket.
That's right.
Yeah.
We spent the whole day there out on the bus with the wonderful people. The team,
wonderful.
the full-time team there at Food Bank are extraordinary.
They have a real big passion for people, and it's beautiful.
Huge hearts.
Yeah.
So this morning, based on the fact that we're just feeling great today, we've got the afterglow of being in that volunteer space yesterday with Food Bank. This isn't unusual for Casey, and it's no surprise to anybody who listens to the show. Casey's got a huge heart, but you've got a volunteer heart because a lot of the stuff that you have done over the course of your life has been volunteer work or working with the NDIS.
Yeah. So I worked with, the NDIS for a little bit, and before I got hired or did my course or anything, I had to volunteer lots of my time shadowing people and just learning, and it was amazing to see just, again, people's heart behind it and just learning new things, and also not only the new experiences that you get with volunteering, but meeting the lovely people and understanding people's stories and helping the community.
That's the one thing I got out of volunteering yesterday, because I'm one of those, I was going to say terrible people, but I'm only being self-deprecating to myself, but I'm always about, like, I should volunteer.
Yeah.
I'm going to take one day out of a month to volunteer at the Salvos or volunteer at Food Bank, and I never get around to doing it. So something like yesterday was a real sort of shot to the system going, I really need to actually take some time out of my life to volunteer and help those less fortunate than myself. Because one thing you take away when you're volunteering at places like Food Bank, you just realise how blessed you are.
Oh, 100%.
And how lucky you are to be able to have food on the table each and every day, because there are thousands of families out there right now, especially during winter, that just cannot feed their own children, let alone themselves. Let's talk volunteering this morning. Casey's all about it.
Yes, I love it. I volunteered here at the Light before I got a job.
That's right.
For 2 and a bit years. Not because I was like, I'm going to get a job by doing this, but because it was community. I feel like so often now, and the stats show that we do have a high amount of volunteers, but it's still not the highest it's ever been. It's still quite low, the numbers. But you just want to volunteer to do better and be a part of the community, because we don't have the connection, the human connection as much anymore.
And it provides hope for the person volunteering. You
100%.
get a sense of hope about, well, if there are people out there doing good for others in need, I can be a part of that.
B says, I was working for Salvo's op shop from 9 to 5 every weekday. She made friends, got experience in retail, and it's something to give back to the community and good for her mental health. And she does it as something as a form of worship to God. So
many people get so many different things out of volunteering, and especially at places like the Vinnies and the Salvos and all those sorts of places where they're repurposing a lot of clothes and products and stuff like that. You can get a bargain, but you're also helping out a lot of those organisations to help out others.
Vanessa from Huonville says, I volunteer at my church. I mainly do visual operation, like putting words up so people can sing along. Oh, that's the most important part of a bit of church. That's the best. And then she says when they have events, she helps set up.
Flat out, churches would not be able to exist without people volunteering their time.
Oh, no way. Literally.
The only reason churches are churches is because people volunteer, so well done to you.
Jeff from Chelsea Heights says, I've been a member of a community concert band for 44 years.
Wow.
I've been on the committee for 43 years. This is volunteer work, not just performing, but lugging the increasing amounts of gear around, as well as maintaining it. Then he goes on to say, what do I get out of it? I love performing, and I'm getting better at playing. And we remember this, he met his wife there.
That's right. He found love whilst volunteering.
Well,
so you never know what's going to happen when
you're single. Volunteer.
Evie's been very patient. Good morning, Evie.
Hi.
Great to have you on board, Evie. Now, you volunteer. How do you, and is it your husband as well?
Yes, actually, the three of us. I got a daughter, 16 years old, also doing volunteer work in the same gym. It's a boxing gym in Ringwood. And as you said, volunteering is addictive, so you want to do more and more. But we've, as a family, pretty lucky, given the opportunity to do it weekly. So I run a boxing class for kids under 16.
Right.
My husband's class on Sunday morning. Originally it's catered for people who suffer with Parkinson's, or some of them also with autism, just to get their coordination, their well-being, and their health. And my daughter was volunteering at the front desk to greet people, to introduce what our program is. So, I encourage everybody to volunteer. Is when we give, we actually not just give, we got more than what we're expecting,
That's exactly the same feeling that Casey and I had yesterday. We felt like we were getting way more out of it than actually what we were giving. And you and your husband and your darling daughter to be volunteering your time and helping out the youth of your area that you're working in, and also helping people out with autism and Parkinson's. That's extraordinary.
It's awesome.
So I think there's not a bad thing to say about volunteering your time.
Not at all.
Good morning, Sharon.
Hi, how are you going?
Very good. We're talking volunteering. How is it? How have you volunteered? And it's been a part of your family as well.
Well, it has been a part of my family. We've been volunteering for a long time. My son started about 7 years ago when he was 15. Just down at Follow Bless Collective, he'd set up tables and marquees for their food van service that they ran down at the park. And then all of my family, I've got 5 kids, so all of our family have then just transitioned into volunteering for Follow Bless Collective. Started about 3 years ago, and I started ripping up cardboard, and now I manage a charity. So volunteering is just really a big part of our lives.
Let's talk about it very quickly, Sharon, because I know that Casey and Casey's done a lot of volunteering in her time. I need to do more. But even yesterday, I was a little bit, not feeling guilty, but I got so much out of it. I felt like I was getting more out of it than I was giving. That's a general feeling across people who volunteer?
Absolutely. I think that it just gives you such an incredible sense of purpose. And when you give to others, it makes other people feel seen and valued, but it really also makes us feel seen and valued. And it's just a great partnership both ways. It works both
Absolutely.
ways.
Sharon, you've touched on that. Casey and I were talking with one of the people that run the food bank down there, and the fact that we can live in a world, especially here where we're producing positive radio, but sometimes when you listen to the news or you listen to other people, it's always, everyone's a bit down on the way we operate. But if you just spend a bit of time volunteering with some amazing organisations, you can see that there are so many people behind the scenes very quietly going about the business of loving on people, and you're a big part of that, Sharon. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Would it be okay if I just share one verse with you? 1 Peter 4:10. So each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in various forms. And I just want to encourage anyone who's listening, find an organisation that really speaks to your heart and just step out and give it a go, whether it's ripping up cardboard or whatever skills you have or think you have, just go for it and go and use it. You'll feel great afterwards.
That was great
job,
Sharon. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for contributing to the show.
The Lucy and Kel podcast.
Casey, who is formerly producer Casey, but she's also on-air Casey. This isn't the first time Casey has been on the radio.
No, it's not.
She's old hat at this, which is a very old saying. And speaking of old, we're going to talk about the generation gap between Casey and myself. Because it's obvious that I've been around for a while.
No, it's not obvious.
Well, I have. And for people that aren't aware, you've only been around for a short time.
Yes, I've been around for 23 years.
23 years.
Yeah.
You're a wise old sage, but you are a young little thing, and I am an old person. And we are often, we rely on the fact that we are of different ages because we help each other out. I often am able to educate you on things of the past that don't make sense right now, and you often help me with things that are just now that I don't understand.
Even the future.
Mostly technical things.
Oh, all the time.
Or new things that kids are saying that I don't understand.
Yeah.
So it's a great working relationship.
Yeah.
Casey's come across a article, however, that you needed my help with, you said,
Yes.
Casey.
So this popped up on my feed. The title is From Knocker-Ups to Human Computers, the Jobs That Vanished Within a Generation.
Jobs that don't exist anymore.
Yes, and apparently it's the careers our grandparents had that because I'm a Gen Z, have never heard of.
We know that we're living in a world where, generationally things change, obviously. Nothing ever stays the same, but especially in this day and age where we now have things like AI and machines and changing needs. Jobs that necessarily maybe I got involved in when I was your age don't exist anymore. So they've got a whole list of jobs, and you were a little confused by some of them.
Yes.
And you want me to try and enlighten you as to what these jobs may have been based on their titles.
Yeah.
Because even that first one sounds a little bit dodgy, but I can tell you that it's not.
All right, go for it.
So the first one you said was knocker up.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't realise this is what it was called.
Yeah, okay. It's probably a better term.
I've done a little research of my own.
Oh.
It's got something to do with wake-up calls. Do you remember wake-up calls? Do you have any idea of what a wake-up call is?
Yes, my wake-up call when I was in primary school was, Casey!
That's your mum, right?
Time for school!
Yeah, mums yelling at you were often our wake-up calls.
Yeah.
I had one of those.
Yeah.
My mum would. But we used to have a thing called wake-up. I don't know why they call it that, but maybe that's an international term. What we had were wake-up calls. So we didn't necessarily have mobile phones.
Yeah.
We definitely didn't have internet. And sometimes we couldn't rely on our alarm clocks. So what you would do is you would call somebody, and I think it was an automated service at the end, but it could have actually been a real person to begin with, where you call somebody the night before and you say, hey, I need somebody to ring the phone next to my bed at a specific time in the morning. Yeah. So you call up.
Well, how does that person wake up?
That's the thing. So I don't know if it was a human-based service or whether it was automated from the get-go, but you would call them the night before on your rotary phone.
That's so silly.
Which is a whole other thing. And he'd be like, hello. And they'd be like, hello. And we'd be like, I'd like to be woken up at 6:30, please. And they're like, not a problem. We've locked that in for you.
Wow.
So
what a
wake up.
business.
I don't think that business exists anymore.
No, I think now we just got alarm clocks in our smartphones.
Much like when people used to call the phone for the time.
Yeah.
So people didn't have watches or mobile phones or the internet. So we would call a automated service where you could ring up and there would be a voice on the other end of the phone that said, on the third stroke, it will be 8:16 precisely.
Is this true?
And it just ran constantly.
What did you guys do before these brick phones? I'm scared.
It wasn't
to
even
give it a raise.
like it wasn't even a thing. Like we would just either look at our watches, but if we didn't have a watch, we could just call the telephone, and the telephone would tell us the time.
That's hilarious. Now we got times on everything.
What else was in there?
We've got a lamplighter.
A lamplighter?
Which I think it speaks for itself, but did you do this job, Kel?
No, I'm not old enough to know what a lamplighter was. No, lamplighter, I'm assuming, is back in the olden days. Street lights were made out of, like, I'm going to say, like, essentially like a candle.
Yeah, wow.
So it's not electricity-based, it was candle-based, and somebody had to go around lighting all the street lamps for the night. So that was a person's job.
Yeah, a person's job.
You would go out at night time as the sun went down, and you would have a long stick, I believe, a long stick with a flame on the end of it.
I have seen photos of that.
And, like in Sherlock Holmes times, you would light the lamps, and you would be a lamplighter.
So then someone's ringing that guy to say, wake up, to put the lamplighter on.
My street lamp is out. Can you come and
Exactly. And then he's ringing someone else for the time. And then,
These are very old-worldy jobs.
Did you have an older job?
I used to do the paperboy round.
Yeah, okay.
Now, I don't know if paper boys or paper girls exist anymore. So my job as a paper boy was to get on my BMX bike. I had a milk crate tied with a piece of rope to the front of my BMX bike, and we used to fill it full of the local newspaper.
Yeah.
I was in the area of the world where we had called the Moorabbin Standard.
Wow.
And it was just a local newspaper. And I would have to go around to all the houses in the local area of Moorabbin, and once a week I would physically post a newspaper for people so they could keep up to date with what's going on.
Dodge a human, dodge a dog, dodge a gnome out the front yard.
They don't do that anymore, surely.
Well, I just Googled it and it said they do exist, but it's very technical.
I think it's more like and I think it only happens on the weekend now.
Yeah.
I don't think people are getting their newspapers thrown on their front lawn
surely
as much as they used to.
service.
I don't know if that one exists anymore.
Yeah.
There was one there about an elevator operator.
Yes. Literally elevator
solely
operator.
A human person that would push a button to operate the elevator for you. I know that used to be a job.
That's like luxury VIP. Kylie Minogue's getting that, not me.
You might
not
find
Casey.
You might find there might be hotels still.
Yeah, but I can't afford that.
I know.
But back in the day, you got luxury all the time.
I'm wondering if back in the day elevators were harder to operate than just pressing a button.
Oh,
so maybe there was more involved in operating an elevator.
And it was probably like.
So maybe you had to have like a engineering-based degree to operate an elevator. But that used to be a job as well. My dad was old enough to remember they used to deliver milk to your house on a horse and cart. So not even a van.
That's not even that long ago, which is wild to me.
A guy on a horse and cart would trot along and then put 2 like glass bottles of milk down, and you would leave your empty glass bottles out. So people didn't even go to the supermarket to get milk. It got delivered directly to the house.
It just sounds like back in the day, everything was so complicated, but they had the most easiest process in place.
We had no internet or machines to do anything. And again, this is way like I wasn't around in the lamplighter's time.
Like in 10 years, we're going to be drinking milk through our phone. I'm just saying.
You think about things like even like taxis.
Yeah.
Taxis kind of have become not a thing because of the Uber driver.
Yeah.
Like things generationally take over and jobs
and just,
start
teleportation.
Even maybe people working at your Woolies and Coles, not as many people working at the checkout anymore as there used to be.
Exactly.
So that's not a bad question because I think there's a lot of people out there that may have done a job that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, and I want to know about it because I'm not really fond of these jobs either.
I guess you could say almost being in radio is almost a job because people are podcasting now and doing all sorts of other digital stuff
that's
online.
True. We're still here and thriving, but
will we be doing a job in radio in the next 10 years?
Well, I better.
Casey,
I better. I'm making it happen.
She's just started.
Jeff just wants to let you know, Kel, from Chelsea Heights, says a knocker-up used to actually walk through the streets and knock on windows because before we said...
I didn't even know this because there was a job called a knocker-upper, which sounds a little contentious, but then I went on to say it must be something to do with like wake-up calls.
Yeah.
Like we used to have a phone you could call and the phone would wake you up because we didn't have the internet or alarms.
We had different knockers up.
But he's saying there was a person in the old times mums that used to go and knock on your window to wake you up.
That's
and that
amazing.
was a real job.
I just want to know who woke that person up. That is all I want to know. Before I die, I need to know.
Back in the old times, somebody got your address
Yeah.
and then was told what time to come to your property
I think they
and
just
knock on the
street.
door to wake you up.
Yeah, there you go.
Or are they just knocking on every door to wake up the whole community?
I think it's that. But imagine if you're one of the people that have like no junk mail or no knockers on my door, and you're just sleeping every day for work.
No wake up calls. That's fascinating, Jeff. Thank you for educating us in that. Catherine in Blackburn South joins us. Good morning, Catherine.
Good morning.
Is this right? Were you involved in a job that basically doesn't exist anymore?
Yes. When I was young, I was 14, I used to be in the fruit and veggie section. People would choose their fruit and veggies, come over with their bag, and I had to weigh it and put the price sticker on it and write the price on it in a texter.
Catherine, core memory unlocked. I remember going to the local fruit and veg shop with my mum, and there'd be like a big scale next to the cash register, and they would weigh them as they go.
Yes, but this wasn't next to the cash register. This is in the fruit and veggie department. A physical sticker on it and put the price on it.
A little bit like what happens at the deli. But in the fruit and veg section.
Right.
I used to work at Safeway, and the one job I wanted to have was the guy on the hose that used to water the tomatoes and the apples. And did you used to do that?
We didn't water anything. We didn't water anything, but we did go to the cool room and get out the veggies and the fruit to fill up the stock. And any time we found any unusual fruit or veggies, we used to draw on them as characters. So carrots with crossed legs were ballerinas, and we used to.
Did you put them in the shop for people to purchase?
We put them there on display. No, not necessarily to purchase, but just for fun.
That's so good.
You've got to make your own fun, Catherine, and it sounds like you did.
Helen from Epping says, a job as a typist. My first job out of high school was a typist, typing up handwritten documents. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, you used to have to get jobs based on how many words you could type per minute.
Wow.
A lot of people, the whole job was just typing. Like using a typewriter.
Yeah, wow.
Have you seen a typewriter?
Yes.
Yes.
I've tried to use it before, and I just feel like
the one where you have to file the paper in around the little tube, and you type and type and type.
I just feel like I tap the letter, it would go onto the other letter because it just it's so awkward.
It's all ink.
Yeah.
And it's all very mechanical.
Oh.
And
Helen's talented.
And back in those days, one of the prerequisites was how many words can you type a minute. And then people had to learn touch typing. And this is when keyboards came as well. And the first time I saw somebody touch typing, where you look away and you can still type all the right words without even looking at the keyboard, I thought that was some kind of magic.
Yeah, that's magic, I was going to say. Debbie said that she used to be a tram conductor and she was in charge of customer interaction and selling tickets, because that's what I asked.
Another job, you're absolutely right, a job that doesn't exist, because back in the olden days that I was a part of, you would have a tram or bus or train driver, but you'd also have somebody walking up and down inside of the tram or train or bus just to help out, like get tickets, please, tickets. So we used to have people would come along and actually they'd have like a little stamp thing where it would cut a hole in the ticket that you had.
That's good customer service.
And they're all gone now.
Bring it back.
Bottom line, it was much better interaction with the community.
Yeah, it was.
Melissa in Croydon, listener of the year 2022. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning, Casey and Kel.
Well done, Melissa. You're always a huge supporter of Casey. We love that. You want to talk about jobs that don't exist anymore?
My mum, I'm sure, was visited, this is on a farm in the 1970s, was visited by a travelling salesman selling fabric.
Absolutely. Door-to-door salespeople used to be the biggest thing, where people would actually come to your door. And it was like you said, Melissa, it would be fabric. Were there vacuum door-to-door salesmen, where door-to-door salesmen would lug around a vacuum and say, would you like to buy this vacuum? I can try it out on your carpet at home.
Yes.
It was the way you bought and sold things, literally going door to door. Well done, Melissa. Thank you for that. Ray and Berwick as well. Good morning, Ray.
Good day.
Jobs that don't exist anymore.
Yeah, my mum was a telephone operator, so she had a headset on and she'd talk to you and you'd tell her what you wanted to call. You'd take the plug and plug it in and connect you.
Ray, I was always fascinated because you often see this in old movies where somebody would call the operator and then it was literally, like you said, your mum would be. Now, what I didn't understand about that whole job is, like, how many people could she connect you with? Was it like everybody in like Melbourne or was it like only a group of people in a local area?
Well, there were long distance calls. You had to pay extra for that. And for instance, we had friends in Noorat, a small town in Victoria, and their phone number was 23. So you'd say, I want to talk to Nurat 23.
Right.
And someone down there would plug it into 23.
That's amazing,
wow.
Ray.
That is mind-blowing.
See?
This is so cool. Thank you so much, Ray.
This is absolutely all new information for somebody like Casey.
I'm like, what?
The fact that a number was 2 numbers. That's
What? How?
Because there's only so many people with phones.
The Lucy and Kel podcast.
And dare I say it, the end of another successful podcast with just Casey.
Yes.
And me.
We miss you, Lucy. She'll be listening.
Well,
love you, Lucy. Only if she's mentioned, she'll listen.
Yeah, she might be listening to see how much we mention her.
Yes.
So it's a good idea.
Lucy.
That should get it out of the way.
Yep. Done.
Hopefully back tomorrow if she's feeling any better. If not, back next week. But more Casey tomorrow.
Yes.
Which is exciting stuff because you do a great job. Thank you for all
Cal.
your support.
Thank you, Cal, for being a great mentor. Also, Cal edits every single episode that you listen of this podcast. So I hope you keep this in because, Cal, you are amazing. Can I just say, it's like working, not with your dad, but like you're like a cool dad. I could almost say like an older brother. Okay. Like, I don't know how to say it nicely.
Like a
cool uncle.
Like
you're
a grandfather. Cool. Like a wise old
You're just so fun to hang around with and you're a great mentor and you're very motivating and very encouraging. You don't have to be, and you're the best.
You're welcome. And if that was left in, then I have received that compliment. On that bombshell, it's time to wrap up the podcast. We hope you have a great whatever rest of the day it is for you right now. And until we meet again, everybody, Lucy.
Well, that's all for now. But you can download more podcasts anytime or catch Lucy and Kel live weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on 89.9 The Light.
This is the end bit. This is the end bit.
Woo!
This is the end bit of the show.
And bit.